All right, Metal Summoners, welcome back to the show. We are super stoked as always to have you guys. We are post M3. Angel and I are recovering, but feel pretty recovered. So we are super stoked. First and foremost, thank you so much to the M3 Rock Festival for having myself and Angel out again. We really appreciate their hospitality every year. We really had a great time. And I got to extend a thank you so much to Patrick Kennison, to Martin Anderson, to Robert Mason, to Billy Childs, and to Think Brain. Think. For their hospitality and having us, for doing these amazing interviews that we got to do. We got to thank the Stephen Adler Camp for letting us hang out with them. That was really, really hospitable of them. We really appreciated everything that they did. Oh, there we go. Of course, Alex Grossi from Quiet Riot. Thank you so much, brother, for having us as well. I knew there was one that was getting away, but I wouldn't let get away. So thank you so much to the amazing talent, the bands that played at the M3 Rock Festival, and everything in between. We had a great time. Angel and I will definitely be seeing you guys again next year, and we look forward to all the upcoming announcements, and the here and there's on who they may get, in about the next 8 months. So that's going to be really, really cool. And as a follow-up with a little bit of a teardrop, Kicks, thank you guys so much for your amazing careers. For anybody that's not familiar with, the band Kicks has decided to announce their final farewell. They're doing their final show at Merriweather Post Pavilion, which is where M3 was hosted, and that's going to be on September 17th. So we really do appreciate the mighty Kicks for all their many years, 45 years from them being called the Shoes to them being Kicks, and all the music that they put out. And also a congratulations to John and Eileen with their engagement that they did between LA Guns and Firehouse's set. But all in all, Angel and I had a blast. Thank you so much to the talent. Thank you so much to Jordan for, of course, being very, very accommodating for us. And we look forward to next year. But enough about me and Angel, because this show isn't about me and Angel. This show is about the person yet to be named, who is being named right now. We are very, very appreciative that he's given us some of his time. Tough guitar player. We've got Dougie Manross on right now. Dougie, thank you, sir.
Oh, cheers. Happy to be here. Happy to be on the Metal Summit.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much for the love. We saw your posts, and we really appreciate you getting behind your interview, man, because you didn't have to say yes.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell are these guys?
Right.
A metal sludge shirt will only get us so far, Angel.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's no secret that I've written for Metal Sludge. Stevie, thank you for the opportunity, man. You're awesome.
Yeah, Stevie just sent me one of those versions of those shirts.
Oh, that means I need to reach out to Stevie. I want a bitch slapping rock star since shirt.
Yep, that's what it says in the back.
Yeah, dude, I need a small showing up in my mailbox. We need to make that happen. But anyway, first and foremost, again, Dougie, thank you so much, brother. And let's jump right into it. You are now the guitar player of Tuff. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved with that and the relationship that you and Stevie have. What led to your introduction, my friend?
So I will say I am one of the guitar players of Tuff because Billy Morris is still involved in the band, but he's got prior commitments, and that's kind of why I was brought in. But Billy's been my mentor for years and years and years, and he was the guy that gave me, he put me, on a stage, and he's like, hey, come up and play some Judas Priest songs with my band when I was 12 years old, and he called me about 4 months ago. He's like, he didn't ask, he told me, he's like, hey, I got stuff to do this summer, so I need you to cover my Tuff shows for me. So that's how I got involved, and ever since then, it's been learning songs. But I've been a fan of Tuff. I've ran sound for them. I've teched for them. I've gone on the road with them, as a behind the scenes guy. But yeah, I've gone from roadieing for them to jamming with them to now I'm part time in the band.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that was actually going to be my follow up question: were you a Tuff fan?
Yes. Yep. yeah, the Fist First album is my personal favorite, but
nice. No, absolutely. I mean, it's a really good follow up, and it's really difficult when you put out an album like What Comes Around, to then have to back it up.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a tough one. And are you familiar with Stevie's other projects and stuff as well, whether it be
So he sent me the Tales of the Porn album, and that was pretty cool. I like that. That was kind of up my alley.
Nice, man. Right on. How'd you get into playing guitar?
So, Guitar Hero, actually. When I was like maybe 9 or 10, Guitar Hero was like the thing to have, like for a young 9 or 10-year-old, and my parents got it for me. I'm like, I want to play real guitar now. And my dad, he grew up with Billy. That's kind of how I made the connection with Billy. But he's like, these are two different things. Like playing Guitar Hero and playing guitar. But I'm like, I want to do it. So he had a couple old guitars laying around, and then finally he bought me my own. And he's like, hey, if you get good enough, he's like, I can introduce you to some of my friends. So that's kind of what happened. So I practiced and took lessons for a couple of years, and then finally I met Billy, and he's like, hey, 12-year-old Dougie Manross, do you want to get on stage with my band, which ironically now I play with.
Yeah. That's awesome. Dude, that's awesome. Dude, my girlfriend just keeled over when you said that. Like, you might have just become like her new favorite guitar player because she loves Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I'm the worst Guitar Hero player ever. I'm terrible at Guitar Hero, but I think I'm okay at guitar.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah,
I'm okay at it.
She's like, I'm okay at it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not quite on the expert.
She's like, I can play up to hard, just not expert.
Yeah, right. I'm not an expert either.
Yeah. Neither are me and Angel. That's why we like fun shows like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm terrible too. People are like, "Oh my god, let's play Guitar Hero." I'm like, you don't want to play against me.
Don't. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Right.
How's 2023 shaped up for you so far?
So far, it has been excellent. So last year, last year was still kind of getting out of COVID and, all that stuff. And I've made a bunch of career decisions lately that kind of, for the past like 5 years, I was in a country band in Cleveland called Bronx Country. We're just a country cover band, but I did my 5 years, and I said, like, hey, I had the Tuff gig, and I needed to take some time off. So I told them, like, hey, I'm moving on and doing different things. So, but that's, so that kind of like set it all off. And I'm in Cleveland. I'm a full-time musician. So I play, every weekend. So that's the day job.
Hey, that's the way to do it, man.
Yeah.
Be a full-time musician, man. Not have to, be corralling carts at Walmart or, bringing people food.
Wise man once asked me, "Do you want to work at Sheetz or do you want to be a guitar player?" I said, "I want to play guitar." So nice. Do whatever it takes to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're in Cleveland, right?
Yes, sir.
Dude, my girl's like, there's Sheetz all around this area in Maryland. She's like, where does he live that a Sheetz is at?
Yeah, there's Sheetz everywhere in Cleveland. They're probably not as like they're not as popular as like some of the gas stations around here, but yeah, there's a bunch of Sheetz.
Nice.
Sheetz is awesome. They get the food.
Yeah, they definitely do. Not too bad for that late night snack either.
Right, yeah. After Taco Bell.
Right, for sure.
Oh,
so what can you
snack. I'm sorry.
No, what's up, Angel?
I was thinking about a different late night snack, but all right.
Dude, nobody is ever going to turn down a late night taco, dude.
Yeah.
Herbert.
That's
Yeah, you want to call it that? We'll call it late night taco.
Sure.
Sorry, babe. I don't do apologies.
Nice.
So, what can you tell us right now about what's going on in the Tuff camp when it comes to like gigs and stuff like that?
So right now we got 2 gigs coming up in Cleveland. We got we're playing at a bar called The Local in Strongsville. Yep, right
Oh,
there.
there
Local
we go.
bar in
There you
Strongsville.
go. Right on cue.
Really cool. Happening, little spot where all the local bands and occasionally national bands play. And then the next night we're playing. So both gigs in Cleveland we're opening for Billy Morris. So the first night we're opening for his cover band, Sunset Strip. They're doing, all your 80s favorites. And then the next night on May 20th,
Yep.
he's doing a tribute to Janie Lane.
Oh,
He
that's
was
right.
really close friends with Janie Lane. And he was in the band Warrant, as most people would probably know the name Billy Morris from. But we're doing I consider it a dual headlining show. But we're doing a tribute to Janie Lane on May 20th. And then after that, we're doing a plethora of gigs in the greater Wisconsin area.
Yep. June 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Yep. So,
That's-
yeah, we're all over the state of Wisconsin, which is where Stevie's from. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I got as of now.
Robert had to take over.
So
No,
That explains why he didn't know.
you have a hometown show. So does that? I don't know. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel more anxious, more excited, more nervous? Because when it comes to the hometown show for everybody, it's like a different feel.
It makes me it's super cool because the band that's opening up for us on the 20th,
The singer
the bass player of that band was actually in one of my old bands when I was a kid. Like she was a singer in the band and now she's the bass player. So it's cool to have all those connections. And then in Wisconsin at the Waterfest, it's all it's super cool to see, people that you kind of grew up with. And
Her number one hit was
but the opening band on that Waterfest gig is called the Michael Weber Show. And he's another young guitar player from this area. And I think he's a couple years older than me, but it's cool to it's cool to see all your friends and, family and people that you kind of grew up with, still doing it in the, town that you're from. So, but on top of that too, we're opening for Billy. So it's going to be funny for him to watch me play the songs that he's been playing for, as long as he's been in Tuff.
right. So how is, just out of curiosity, so Tuff is playing as an opener for Billy's other band? Did I hear that correctly?
Like the first show, I think is kind of like a warm up kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
We're just kind of, we're hopping on one of his shows. And then the next night, at the Temple Live, that's a cool spot. It's like there's 3 different rooms. There's a club size room, then there's a medium size room, which I believe we're in. And then there's a theater room. So that's the May 20th gig. So
Nice.
both nights we're opening for Billy's other bands.
He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to pull double duty.
Right. Yeah.
No, that's awesome, man. So what is it? What would you say is the most exciting for you about the Tuff catalog and their music?
Oh man. Well, first of all, it rocks. It it's there's a lot of cool. There's a lot of cool riffs and things that you gotta. It's kind of challenging music to a lot of people would kind of listen to it and kind of maybe potentially blow it off, but because it's hair band music kind of. But it's there's a lot of cool stuff in that kind of music, and Tuff's catalog that it keeps me on my toes. So it's exciting to play. On top of that, there's I can kind of play guitar solos the way that I kind of want to. I'm gonna try to stay close to the originals, but you know, I can add my own flavor in it. So that's cool.
Absolutely. Little extra hit on the whammy bar or something.
Right. Yeah. Little, few more notes than usual,
Absolutely, for sure. So here's a little fun thing for you. Can you play? Would you say that to be able to play the Tuff music correctly, do you have to have long hair to do it?
I think so. I don't think they ever had a guitar player that had short hair.
You're probably right.
Stevie can confirm that.
Yeah, he definitely can. So you just got to kick it back and let it fly, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or what's
Right on.
That's a good question.
Yeah. What's up, Kyle? Kyle's awesome. He's a big fan of the show. Yeah, did you see that, Dougie? What's your favorite Tuff song to play live?
Yeah, so I haven't done any gigs with them yet, but I will say probably my favorite song, like learning the catalog so far, is probably Spit Like This. That's a fun one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a rockin' tune. Cool riffs.
Nice.
And it didn't take long for us to offend somebody.
Oh.
I'm offended by this experience. So we got hair to show, and what do you expect?
No, not it's one of our loyal fans. Brian is putting in his 2 cents. Brian,
No hairism here.
yeah, he says I'm offended by all this extreme hairism.
It's a pain in my ass. That's what long hair is.
That is true, especially when you're doing. I can't say.
Yeah,
Long hair isn't.
there's never enough hair ties in the world.
Right, yeah. I'm not a hair tie guy. I'm a hat guy.
Oh, you're a hat guy?
Yep.
I'm like kind of a combination of both because I wear my hair down a lot. I wear my hat a lot. Usually when I have my hat on, I usually have it kind of side tied like I do right now, but also other times I'll just have it hanging just straight down on the side and I'll kind of lock it in place with my hat.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I'm usually like if I'm like wearing a hat for something, like it's usually like if I'm working out or like going on a bike ride or something, just to keep it out of my face. But
yeah. How long is it going to take you to get the Tuff tattoo, Dougie?
I only got one. I only got one tattoo, but yeah, that would be a cool tattoo. I'd have to at least do a show with them, and then
right.
maybe
be like, oh well, I got this.
Yeah, that'll be.
I had the gig, and then I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I had the gig, and then I got the tattoo, and then I lost it. Yeah, that would be an after the gig decision.
They fired you after the tattoo.
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, you thought you had a piece, you got a piece of us forever, but we don't need a piece of you.
Yeah, that stuff's bad juju when you do that.
It can be very tricky when it comes to that, for sure.
Yeah.
Angel, let's kick it back up to you, my friend.
I'm going to ask a question that Jay would normally ask, but what kind of gear do you like to play? What's your favorite guitars?
So,
rig rundown.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what I'm holding here is this is a John Hill bootleg guitar made in Cleveland, Ohio. There's the headstock.
Nice.
So this model is actually loosely based off of the Scotty Hill from Skid Row model.
Yeah.
For a while. And John's worked for Dean. He's worked for who else has he worked for? Kramer. He's worked for a bunch of guys, and he's ghost built some stuff for him.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he makes great stuff, and this is what I'm using on the Tuff runs. I'm using this guitar because for these Wisconsin runs, I gotta it's one guitar and throw it in an airplane and go.
Oh, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. But aside from that, my gear here in Cleveland, I have an Axe Effects. I have 2 different cabinets, and that's all I use. Just plug in, same sounds every night, and it works for just about everything. So
nice.
Yeah. Are
you much for pedal boards?
I'm not a pedal guy actually. I like I like to set my stuff up and just and set it up so it works, and that's it. So yeah, I wish it's funny because like I watch all the gear demos and all the pedals, and I'm like, I'm missing out.
I'm that way too. I mean, I'm a bass guy. That's what I specialize in. But I just don't like a lot of nonsense. It gets in my way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like to plug the guitar in, and that's make no nonsense in between.
Yeah, let me play my part of the orchestra and get out of my way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Right back to you, Angel.
Your most sought after guitar and gear.
Most sought after guitar and gear. Oh man. I'd like a vintage, like an old original pre-production Jackson. That would be pretty cool. I like those a lot. But and then as far as amps go, I'll take an old Marshall.
I might be able to help you with that Jackson, actually.
Ooh. Yeah.
My buddy Jerry, who I've gotten guitars from and basses from for years, because he's a guitar dealer, has an actual Jackson 1985, before Jackson stopped actually being Jacksons.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
So if that's something that you're kind of like sought after, I can connect you guys.
Yeah. Billy Morris has one, and I think he might have another one somewhere, but yeah, it's like purple, like kind of, and it's got Floyd on it, and it's like it shreds. So
nice. Yeah, and the funny thing is, if I remember correctly, I think the Jackson that Jerry has is purple too, but I believe it's got flames. So it's very similar. So it's got a very similar like design pattern exactly to the one you're holding.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I'll have to, because I saw him the other day and we were talking about guitars and basses because I was asking him if he had any new basses for me to buy, and he was like, nah, not at the moment. But I think I asked him about that Jackson, and I think he said he still had it.
Yeah, those are cool guitars for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah, definitely. Angel.
Another question. Wow, this one's my favorite bands.
Top 5 favorite bands, huh? Well, Van Halen has to be in there. That's oh man, it's tough to narrow it down. Van Halen. So I don't know if you could list Van Halen as the top. You know what? AC/DC is one of my top 5 too. I love AC/DC, which is
nice.
Those are 2 stock answers, But another one that I grew up loving was Butch Walker and the Marvelous 3.
Wow, that's a good answer.
Yeah, huge Butch Walker Marvelous 3 fan when I was a kid. And then King's X. I love King's X.
Oh, dude, you would have just given Bobby Wood, one of our co-hosts. He's he and Doug Pinnick are very tight.
Very cool. Yeah.
And Dougie's been and that Dougie's been on the show a couple of times as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he's awesome. I need a 5th one, huh? So there's a band in Cleveland called the Zooters. And so it's 2 brothers. It's Mike and CJ, and they've been around the block. And they started out in a band in the 80s called Out of the Blue. And then they ended up turning into the Zooters, and then they turned into a band called Magnify after that. And that band is so kick-ass. And if you've never heard of them, you should check them out. There's a bunch of demos and stuff online. I think everything that they've ever done is pretty much on YouTube. So it's like almost, some of their stuff is like Beatles meets Cheap Trick meets Van Halen meets Dokken. It's got guitar solos and it's got everything that you want. So, yeah, it's the Zooters, Mike Zooter, CJ Zooter. They've got to be in my top 5. A local plug.
Nice.
But Mike, I think,
because look, a lot of bands are retiring now, so
yeah. But I think Mike lives in Vegas now, and CJ I think is in Chicago. Mike played for Paul Gilbert for a long time too.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Good stuff. If you've never heard of the Zooters, check them out.
and what was the name of your first ever band? First band that you joined?
My first band. So my first cover band was a band called In Too Deep, which was like named after like the Sum 41 song.
Yeah.
And then my first original band was a band called Never Surrender.
Nice.
Yeah. So actually, might have been Velocity. That might have been the first original band. But yeah, those were the first bands.
Cool name for a band.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Velocity
Not
or
something
Never.
that's like too cheesy or nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Brian wants to know, what are your pet peeves?
Oh.
No sugarcoating. That's
Oh man. That's a tough one. There's not a lot that really bothers me. I'm a pretty easygoing kind of, assholes. That's that's my pet peeve.
nice. It's a pretty good one to have.
Yeah,
I think
right.
we all agree with
Any
that.
punk influences?
All my kind of like punk influences come from like other like like through Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, Like I never really got into punk. I really liked like 2000s like pop punk. That was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I am only 24, so that was like kind of what I was growing up with, at the time.
Mhm.
So, stuff like that, and I hate to say, I love Nickelback, so yeah.
I like them too. They're really cool.
Yeah.
I like Nickelback.
I've never aggressively gotten into them. I mean, they have a couple of tunes that I do like, but I've never really gotten much into them. But I will say I've heard a lot of like praise for their live show.
Yeah. Yep.
They got booed off stage and had shit thrown at them.
Yeah, but they were probably playing with a bunch of like hardcore metal people that are going to do that to Nickelback.
Right.
Doesn't mean that the show wasn't good.
Nickelback sucks.
Oh, you're so
Yeah, we
delicate.
are saying Nickelback is cool.
See,
Nickelback sucks. Their music sucks.
it's a very polarizing.
It's a polarizing topic.
Yeah, I love them. That's
I
like
hate to be in your shoes, Jay, because you have to say the same thing.
They literally got booed off stage.
Like I've always been into like the pop punk thing too myself. I mean, I grew up on a lot of
with
like
your
those
little
bands.
Faggot Boys, Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, babe.
Oh, did I know?
he's a local boy.
Yeah, he is.
Yep, he's from Cleveland. Kind of sort of.
It's not a big deal. It's all good.
Hell, I'm looking over.
No, no worries. It's all good. Don't sweat it. No, it's all good. Like, I like I mean, I've been living in Maryland for a long time, so Good Charlotte's always been really big down here and stuff. And I love Blink-182. I grew up on Green Day. I actually like Sum 41 quite a bit, and I heard they just called it quits.
Yeah, I heard that too.
But okay, they're calling it quits by their next album and tour. Yeah.
Right. So
So
they'll
there's
finish
still
their
gonna be
next
plenty
album
of
and
things
tour,
to
and
go
then
around.
they'll.
Ah,
Right, which could
yeah,
be
I didn't see the
couple years
article
down the
full
road.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. So calling it
'Cause
quits means like a couple years down the road.
I mean, remember we've had 30 years of Kiss calling it quits.
Yeah, right.
You know who has
Had a few.
never decided to do a farewell tour? The Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
And they're still doing
They've
it.
never had
they're still
Yeah.
doing it. There'll
wanna
be
be
no
80
Stones
and
until
look
we
like
just
Jagger.
officially lose every member.
I think that's what they're doing.
Mm.
I like to be 80 and look like Mick Jagger. Hey,
Dude, that dude just
Still
made a
wants to-
kid. Did you hear about that? That dude just made a kid.
Isn't that crazy?
A couple
Yeah.
of years ago.
I was like, what?
It was a couple
There's
of
still
years ago.
something in there. It's not just shooting out like dust.
Well, then the kids are set for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I grow up, I want to be Mick Jagger.
Mhm.
me too. I want to be 80, look
And-
that thin, and be able to run around without
Yeah.
any crutches or wheelchair, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's what that Mick Jagger money gets you, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
And Viagra will still be around.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that Rolling Stone money is what's kept Keith Richards alive.
For sure. No doubt.
He never- Keith Richards never got COVID or none of that. So whatever he's doing, man, it's working. I mean, he's still, God bless him, alive and healthy and rocking.
Yep.
79 years old and still torn.
Dude, that's crazy. 79 years old for Mick Jagger, and that dude is still throwing down.
Yeah.
So,
Did you ever see when he and Keith Richards were in The Simpsons for Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's hilarious. You should look it up sometime. Just look up like Simpsons Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp or Mick Jagger Simpsons. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he's talking about like how to walk on stage and how to pose and how to dodge the groupies.
Right, yeah. That's funny.
And what's your favorite thing to eat after a gig?
Oh man. Oh.
What's that job well done food?
Yeah. Well, back to the Sheets thing. Sheets is always a good option if it's around. Oh man. I don't know. I have a freezer full of freezer food. So that's pizza rolls
Nice.
are good. That's a good option.
Bagel bites.
Yeah, we always keep like a lot of like Totino pizza rolls and like bagel bites.
Yeah. Yeah, pizza rolls are the goods, especially if you put a little Cajun seasoning on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What was that, Angel? Sheets versus Wawa? Did I read that right?
Wawa. What's Wawa?
There's your answer. Sheets it is then.
Oh, it's like a convenience store that sells a lot of really good,
Yeah.
well, like food
It's like a
together.
Maryland. It's like a Maryland-based. I'm sure there's more around, but it seems to be a pretty heavily like Maryland-based, like
Royal
Sheets,
Farms.
Royal Farms
Yeah, right.
type thing.
Yeah. I hate Royal Farms.
That's because you
I
work
guess
there.
besides Tuff, if you could play with any band, who would it be?
Hmm. Van Halen.
I was waiting for it. I was like Dougie, serve it up, dude.
I would play for anybody. That's the it's the gun for hire mentality, you know.
Yeah. Could you picture that though? Like trying to be the trying to be the second guitarist of like a double axe attack with Eddie Van Halen?
Yeah, right.
Not happening.
Like,
I'll play rhythm for that guy all night long.
right. I'll just stand off the stage and play. Just be like, nah, dude. Like,
now existing too, which is unshameful.
yeah. Oh no, for sure. That'd be like trying to be another guitar player at Avenged Sevenfold. It would just be like, nah, man. It's
Right.
Sin and Zaki got this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, other than Van Halen, I don't know.
Wow.
It's
I can't reach you, right? Did you see that question, Dougie? Favorite drummer?
favorite drummer. John Bonham is pretty cool.
Nice.
John Bonham. I like Eric Singer a lot. I think Eric Singer is a badass drummer.
Yeah.
Him, all the Matt Starr is great. That dude can slam the drums.
That dude's great. He's been on the show too.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
Hmm.
Man, yeah, that's
Yeah. I'm a Joey Jordison guy myself.
yeah.
Jimmy the Rev.
Yeah. My girlfriend, like I said, huge Avenged Sevenfold fan. So Jimmy Sullivan's our homeboy.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. That's definitely sick for sure.
Jimmy told himself that.
Let's talk about early concerts, Dougie. Tell us about some of the early concerts you've gone to.
So the first concert that I ever went to was the Beach Boys when I was 3 years old. It was at Pavilion in PA. I don't know like who was in the band or what I barely remember it, but I point the finger to that and say that's what made me, it ingrained in my brain, I think.
Nice.
That, those Beach Boys harmonies. And even to this day I love the Beach Boys. But
Beach Boys are great. I'm a fan too.
yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And but the trying to think. The first concert that I went to, aside from the Beach Boys when I was 3 years old, was I saw Mr. Big at the House of Blues in Cleveland when I was 12, and Paul Gilbert shredded my face off.
Was that still with Matt Starr?
No, that was with Pat Torpey.
That was with Pat?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
it
sick.
was awesome. And the two opening acts were Red Sun Rising.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And
that was George Lynch's band, wasn't it?
No, so they were a local Akron band, but they ended up having a hit on like modern rock radio, like maybe 10 years after that. And they had like number one like rock hit. And then right after Red Sun Rising was Billy Morris. And he shredded my face off too.
Nice.
Shout out to Billy.
Yeah.
Then Paul Gilbert wiped the floor with all of them because he's Paul Gilbert.
Paul Gilbert. Yeah. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, going back to what you were saying about Eric Singer, I mean, Eric's amazing. I mean, when you just, like, let alone just the three bands that he's basically associated with, which is, Badlands, and then probably Alice Cooper, and then that band nobody's heard of. I think they're called Smooch or something like that. Like, the fact that he's just another one of those guys that, like, is so reliable, can play anything, and is always just going to be great at it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's a local Cleveland guy too.
Oh, he's a Cleveland guy?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. So let's keep it in Cleveland. What are your thoughts on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Don't sugarcoat it.
No, I think the organization is flawed, but I think the museum itself is very cool. I think if anybody has a chance to visit the museum, I think it's worth going to around everything else in Cleveland, But it's definitely worth going to because there's a lot of cool stuff in there, and it's not just about like the the inductees and stuff like that. But I think the organization is for sure flawed in some way. I think it comes down to there's I don't have a problem necessarily with particular rap artists getting in, but when it comes down to like Missy Elliott getting in, that's when I'm like, that doesn't fit. There's nothing rock and roll about Missy Elliott.
Right. No, for sure. Like when there was really something to, when artists really had something to say, had serious input, had serious reasoning, and also had a certain amount of like that attitude. Like that's one of the reasons I never had a problem when they inducted like NWA.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like those guys were rock stars.
Yeah.
Like, and that was back at a time where they were really talking about things. That would be like them fucking inducting Ludacris and being like, "You're really gonna tell me that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inducted I Got Hose in different area codes?"
Yeah.
Missy Elliott should not have been inducted. She's not rock and roll.
Nope.
And neither is Eminem.
I agree with that.
Yeah, but he's still got some of that swagger though.
No, it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Yep.
not the R&B and rap and hip hop
Yep.
Hall of Fame.
She's giving me nothing. So
Me, I took a year. My last.
Motorhead is still not inducted in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Good point.
There's
Neither
bands
is Led Zeppelin.
way more deserving than like Boston. Boston isn't even in.
yeah,
Led Zeppelin's not even in it.
Bad
Company. You know, Judas Priest, Motley
There's
Crue,
none of
Iron
them are in it.
Maiden.
Like, what the
Like-
fuck?
I think Judas Priest is in. I will say
Judas
that.
Priest. Oh, that's right. They just got in.
Yeah.
But
But
like
Led Zeppelin.
Thin
Iron-
Lizzy,
Yeah, Thin Lizzy. Jesus.
like that should have been like on the first ballot.
Motorhead.
Yeah,
Come on.
Motorhead.
Yeah.
And the only thing now about if and when Motorhead gets in, it's kind of the same thing that when they finally put in Deep Purple. First of all, they took way too long to even get Deep Purple in. But there was a part of me that was like, I swear to God, if you motherfuckers induct these guys right after John Lord passed away, it's just going to show that you did it as a consolation prize.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Lemmy's been gone, and Motorhead is still not inducted. But Missy Elliott, come the fuck on. She is not even rock.
No.
It took me a while to kind of understand, but I took a rock and roll history course in my senior year of high school, which was through the local community college here, Tri-C, and the guy that was teaching it was like, you know, you might think that you know everything about rock and roll, but he's like, it's a lot more than just like, you know, the music, and you know, he kind of explained it in a way. He's like, everything after rock and roll wouldn't be the same if rock and roll didn't exist, you know. So that's kind of that was his justification of why these weird, you know, bands get into the rock hall. But even then, there's got to be some sort of like cutoff to where, you know.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Hall of Fame.
Right. It's like they just inducted like Dolly Parton, and she tried to like deny the induction.
Country.
But now she's actually putting out a rock album that Rob Halford's on.
Yeah.
Like how strange is that?
I mean,
She had to justify her induction.
Right. Even though she tried to fight against it, and the Rock Hall was like, "Nope, you're in."
because she knows she's not rock.
Right.
She's country.
Yeah. Nope, 100%. Dougie, are you plugged in, man? You should play a little bit.
I am. You hear that?
Yes. Nice. You're getting a request from my couch that do you know how to play any Avenged Sevenfold?
I don't. I was, you know, I'll be honest. I was never a big Avenged Sevenfold fan.
I got you.
Yeah. I was, when that was all kind of happening, I was like in, you know, I was already into like, you know, all the 80s bands like, you know, Dokken and it's another good one. You know, Mr. Big. I liked all the bands that like I was never like a solo guitar player guy. Like, you know,
Sure.
I I like and respect those guys, but I always liked good songs, you know. So
you were into bands like Rat Poison.
Yeah, hey, yeah, right. Yeah, Rat. Yeah.
Yep. I knew where I was going with that. Tell us about the gig, dude.
So that gig came about because a guy named Matt Muckle. He was he's drummer from Pittsburgh, but he's been in a few different circles. He was an LA guy for a while and played for everybody. I think he played for Lynch Mob. He played for he did some stuff with Paul Gilbert, John Waite. Yeah, this really big resume, and he called. So if you haven't noticed, there's a big chain here. He called Billy Morris.
Mm-hmm.
So my gigs come from Billy because he's my he's the guy that gets out and he's done it, and he's like he pitches me a lot of gigs that he can't do. So, but Matt called Billy. He's like, "Hey, I need a guitar player for this gig," and Billy's like, "I can't do it, but I know the guy." So I was the guy, and we rehearsed a couple times, and we did a set of Rat songs, and we did a whole set of Poison. So yeah. But the singer guy Kevin Elder is he's super cool too.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a main member of that band, and then Matt is as advertised, badass drummer guy. So super fun gig. It was at the Hard Rock in Pittsburgh. I might do more gigs with them, but I'm not exactly sure because my calendar is pretty full to the max right now. So
nice. Was that one of those guitar on a plane and off you go gigs?
No, I drove to that one. That was a 2-hour drive. Not too bad. Even the rehearsals I had to drive to.
You did. Nice. So, sorry. I was checking something out. Say that again real quick, Dougie. That wasn't one of the fly down gigs?
Yeah, that was a driver gig.
That was a driver?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, 2 hours. Ain't too bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really? From Cleveland to Pittsburgh is 2?
Yep.
Jesus, I need to know my geography.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy, dude. Angel, right back up to you, buddy.
A couple of more fan questions. Let me start with this one. What advice would you give to yourself 10 years ago?
10 years ago? Say yes to everything until you figure out. Say yes and then figure out later. That's what I'm doing now, and I should have done it 10 years ago. Also, write original songs, which I'm also kind of starting to slowly work on. But yeah, say yes, take the opportunities.
And another good question from Jeannie. What is your favorite song to play live of all the bands you have been in? Wow.
Favorite song to play live?
Out of all the bands you've been in.
So, every once in a while, probably about once a year, I get to play with Ripper Owens. So, formerly of Judas Priest. Playing the Ripper is pretty fun. The Judas Priest song. Any of that Judas Priest stuff, like that was like, Judas Priest is one. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. My top 5 favorite bands of all time. Judas Priest should be on that list.
Nice. There's your 5th open slot.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey. But any of that Judas Priest stuff was like, and having Ripper sing that stuff is mind blowing.
Yeah.
The first rehearsal I had with that band, we were rehearsing and then he walked in late and we were playing the Ripper, and like right when we did like the intro, like he like opened the door and I'm like, we have to stop. Like that was the coolest thing I think that's ever happened to me.
What an entrance.
It was like a doorbell or something.
And somebody wants to know, can you play some Dokken?
Uh, or you got Break Chains, right?
Yep.
My riff is When Heaven Comes Down.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
Growing up.
And besides guitar, do you play anything?
I sing a lot. I do a bunch of gigs singing. I can play drums a little bit, enough to be dangerous. Other than that, that's about it. I can play keyboards one note at a time.
You can play the Jaws theme, like dun dun. dun
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome.
Brian is giving you the toughest question. Gosh, I hate this. I hate to be you on this one.
Ooh.
You have to wipe one band's catalog. Damn. Come on, Brian, give us a break here.
He's not getting a break. He's not getting a break. I don't have to give him a break. Bye, Zeppelin.
Yeah. I'm a pretty big Black Sabbath fan.
Because as much as I mean, my mom got me my first Zeppelin album. I still to this day very much like Stairway to Heaven. The fact of the matter is, you wipe out the catalog of Black Sabbath, you also lose Dio.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a toss up. I would choose Zeppelin. I'm not as big of a Zeppelin fan as I am.
Same. It's like, you know, tons of love and respect for Zeppelin, but in that particular one,
Yeah, if it
later, guys.
do it.
And more fan questions. What do you have any rituals before a show?
Not really. I like to warm up. That's get my fingers moving, because usually like like walking into a gig, it's usually warming up's always good, but every once in a while I'll do a shot. I'll drink my my Jack Daniels or whatever.
Yep. Nice.
But other than that, yeah.
What is the best life experience you have had since you started performing?
So far, I'm trying to think. Since I started performing, so far performing with Ripper Owens was that was always a good time. Still is. That was like one of those gigs when, I mean, he's an Akron guy, and me and my dad went and saw him when I was like first started playing out. I had to be in like 12 years old, and I posted on Facebook the next day. I'm like, I'm gonna play with that guy, and then about 10 years later, I finagled my way into the gig. So
Nice.
yeah, that was being in a van with Ripper and the rest of the our we affectionately call it Ripper and Friends, because he likes to ride in the van with us. So
Nice. It's like a fraternity.
yeah.
Nice.
But-
What do we got here? When you were younger, did you want to be a rock star?
I don't know. I was always more like I always wanted to be a musician, like be the guy that, shows up, knows the songs, melts your face, and then, yeah. I was always the musician guy. I think John 5 said something. He's like, I think he watched like Hee Haw when he was younger,
Yep.
and he's like, I want to be, the hired gun. And that's, that was kind of my thing.
Just out of curiosity, did you ever watch that documentary, Hired Gun?
Yes, I did. I saw it in the theaters.
I love that documentary.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I saw it in the theaters too, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I will admit though, it's really good. And I've wanted to get Jason Hook on this show forever. Yeah. I think it'd be a great interview. I gotta tell you though, I feel that they stayed a little too mainstream.
I think so.
To some of that. Like, dude, they could have like legitimately killed it. Like, take for example, like somebody like AC Slade, who most people know from Dope or the Murder Dolls, but he's the bass player also for like Till from Rammstein and his solo band.
Yeah.
He played with Joan Jett for 5 years and did an album with her. Mm-hmm. Or a guy like, Piggy D, who's now been the longtime, player for Rob Zombie, but he did his own solo stuff. He did stuff with, Wednesday 13 as a solo guy. There's people that I think are more in that traditional hired gun style that I think they really kind of missed the boat on getting like those guys' perspective.
Yeah, I think they stuck with all the guys that like everybody kind of knows, like the Phil X's of the world, which I love Phil X. But
Phil's amazing, another alumni.
Yeah, I got to meet him last year, and he was the nicest motherfucker ever.
That dude comes across like just the most genuine, big toothy, grinning, just nicest son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah, super cool. But I think they stuck with all the gigs, like all the rock gigs. They there's a whole other thing like in Nashville. Like all those the session guys that show up to the studio and But I think they were kind of shooting for like the guys that are like we need like in Phil X's position, it's like we need a badass guitar player that'll show up in 3 days and know the songs and do the job and fill in for Richie Sambora,
Right. Which is totally bitching. And don't get me wrong, that's a great, amazing story.
Yeah.
But that's been Phil's dominant gig for like 15 years now.
Yeah.
Like versus, again, and I'm going to sort of beat a dead horse, but he's just a really good example versus somebody like AC, who you might see 4 or 5 times that year in 4 or 5 different places.
Right, yeah. Yep.
And I feel like they didn't do a very good job getting those guys.
Yeah.
Like John 5 was in the documentary, and he was like just enough still worthy of that. And what I mean by that, that's a very weird thing to say, that the idea of John 5 ever not being worthy is a very weird thing to say. But just what I mean by that is because that documentary's been out for a little while now. So he wasn't as long in Rob Zombie at the time. So he was still, pretty fresh off of Marilyn Manson. And he was still doing things with Katie Lang. That dude was in the Halford band 2, which I thought was an amazing underrated band. If you're unfamiliar with that, Rob Halford did this industrial goth band when he was basically coming out of the closet called 2.
Yeah.
And they're just absolutely amazing. So I mean, but that's my thing. I feel like they went a little bit more with their decision for what I basically felt was their definition of a hired gun was like long-standing established studio musicians.
Yeah.
And not that that's not awesome, but that's not how I see the name. That's not how I see the title. Yeah. I see it differently. I have a different opinion on what I think the definition of a hired gun is.
Yeah, it was kind of a blanket statement. I thought it was cool that Jason Hook wanted to like a actual like TV series.
Yeah.
for a minute. Like I think they like released the movie and he wanted to do like a series based off of it, but that never happened. So
Right.
but yeah, I think that would have given it a bigger picture.
Right. And don't get me wrong, like Jason himself is a bitchin' story. I mean, the fact that dude was playing for Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
And Alice took his kid to see Mandy Moore in concert, but Alice was sitting there going like, who's this rock-looking dude that's playing up there in her band? And that's what got him the gig in Alice Cooper before he went to Five Finger Death Punch.
Awesome.
And he also, fun little fact, he also recorded an album with the Bullet Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Jay, we did have a TMS alumni from that documentary, Phil X.
Phil X, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, we had Phil X and no, sorry, Angel, go ahead, buddy.
I was going to say that he played on Scott Stapp's solo record.
He did.
So he was doing like all these projects.
Yeah.
When somebody recommended him to Bon Jovi when Richie Sambora went into rehab.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's the guitarist there.
No, for sure. And he definitely belongs. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think he should be like shrugged out of like the documentary or anything like that. I just felt that they could have done a little bit better in my eyes of what a real hired gun definition is. Again, doesn't make anything that Jason did incorrect about the way he set up that movie, because it completely worked the same for him. But it's just, I see established studio musicians. I don't see them the same way that I see hired guns, and I'm only speaking for myself. Like I see them as two very different things. They don't quite mesh as easily for me as I think maybe a casual music fan is like, no, if you're being hired to do, guitar work on Gary Hoey's album, and then you're being asked to play for Pat Benatar, and then you're being asked to play for Billy Idol, and then you're asked to record with this guy. That's definitely a hired gun. I'm like, true, but when your job is to be a career studio musician, I just don't really see it that way. Versus like a guy who's like, when his phone rings is when he's going back out on the road again.
Right.
Because somebody needs someone.
Yep.
So I just see it differently that way. But again, no disrespect to Jason whatsoever. That was an absolutely bitchin' documentary.
Yeah, it was great. No, that
we need to come through and give somebody advice. Jules, feel better. Any music or Netflix recommendations?
The Metal Summit.
Hey, yeah. Trying to think what the last music documentary that I watched was. Last music movie that I watched was a movie called The Wonders. It's about a 60s band, and they wrote a song. It's not based off a true story or anything, but Tom Hanks wrote it, and they wrote the song. They got it on the radio, and it was very like the song is great. All the songs in the movie are great, but it's like it just shows like the band on their like first tour and like how the band eventually breaks up, which is the story is all the time. But yeah, it was a really good movie, The Wonders. If you like 60s,
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yep.
Probably my 2 cents for something like that is the two most recent music documentaries that I saw that I thought were absolutely bitching. Is I saw the Randy Rhoads documentary.
Yeah.
That was really good. And the documentary that just came out recently on Gwar is actually really awesome.
The last one that I watched was the John Waite documentary.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, that dude, he's a rock star, I think it kind of takes place when COVID happened. That's when they were like filming it and all that, and but yeah, that was a pretty interesting one to just see. I'm a big Babies fan, so John Waite in general.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And I guess when it comes to Netflix, dude, Wednesday was the shit.
That was That was good.
That was really good, and so was Dahmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Randy Castillo was a good documentary. What's a fucking awesome drummer.
Did they do it? Did they do one on Randy Castillo? I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, they did like really good one with the family scenes, of course. But it was really good. I mean, you just hate that he's not here with us anymore. But
Yeah.
just all of the records he played on and everything he did was awesome.
Yeah.
He was
for
definitely
sure.
the right guy to Tommy Lee in Motley Crue.
Oh yeah.
He was the drummer then.
Yeah, the new Tattoo album. A lot of people forget about that. Tommy left the band for a little while to be a rapper, and yeah, Randy Castillo from Ozzy did the new Tattoo album with Motley Crue, and when he was getting into some health situations because of his cancer, Samantha Maloney from Hole filled in on the Lewd, Crude, and Tattooed tour.
I was watching her. Speaking of hired guns, I was watching her on that tour, and she nailed it.
Yeah, there is a DVD of one of their live shows with Samantha, and she was crushing it.
Yep,
she definitely was. That was definitely really cool for sure. But yeah, no, I love that. Either today or yesterday was the 5-year anniversary of losing this guy Ben Graves that I was very fond of. Who again, people who know me know that I talk about bands like the Murder Dolls and Wednesday 13 at nauseum.
Yeah.
But I just love those bands so much. I got multiple tattoos for stuff that are Wednesday or Murder Dolls involved. But he also was the longtime drummer up until recent years, of course, for Pretty Boy Floyd.
Right, yeah.
He was drumming with Pretty Boy Floyd for a long time, leading up to being sick. And then actually my buddy, when Ben was still with us, but just unable to drum for a while, my buddy Jimmy, who's the drummer for the Midnight Devils, he actually filled in with Pretty Boy Floyd for a little while.
Very cool.
Yeah. Right back up, D'Angel.
Yep, two more fan questions that I forgot the most about being a musician.
Well, I mean, it's if I don't know, it's just everything that it's better than working at Sheets. But no, it's amazing the amount of people that that I've met through just being a musician, and just the opportunities, and just it's incredible to look back on what the stuff that I've the people that I played with in the past 10 years and all that. And it's just it's I wouldn't trade it for the world. So
no, that's awesome, man.
If that kind of answers the question.
I had to grab my notepad for this next question because I got to write this down. And you'll see the reason why. What hair products do you use? I love that question.
I've been waiting for like 10 minutes to get to that question.
2-in-1 Head and Shoulders. Old Spice scented. That's what I use. That's all I use.
2-in-1?
Yep.
2-in-1 Head and Shoulders?
Yep, that's it.
I guess it does, yeah.
I just did that rap.
Now that was a tough question. Does it work?
Yes,
I did that rat poison gig.
I totally not picked up that bottle.
You don't really use it on your hair.
Yeah, I did a few days ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
My girlfriend's making fun of me because she always picks on me about my hair. She's like, it's too oily. I was like, I like the grungy like hair look, but my hair is clean. She's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
She's like, you've got a bottle of shampoo in the shower that you never use. And I'm like, you have clearly never picked up that bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she wants me to start using conditioner. She always hits me with the Billy Madison, Adam Sandler thing, where she's like, leaves your hair silky and smooth.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Shampoo is better.
The amount of women
It's
that
good, like a really good condition.
like, how do you get your hair like that? Unbelievable. The
Like-
most frequently asked
Yes,
question.
that's the thing.
It's all about that lion's mane.
Yeah.
Women love the long hair. Yeah, they love the long hair.
And if they don't love it, then they're jealous of it.
They just need something to tug on.
Damn
My
right
sister.
about that.
My sister's jealous of it. No, she's
Our-
not
our-
watching
our-
anyways.
Our guy Psycho Steve is definitely jealous of it.
Oh yes, he is very jealous. That's why he lets the beard grow. He lets the beard grow to make up for how jealous he is.
I had to grow a beard because I got sick of going to restaurants
And getting carded.
No, not that. Actually, not even that. Me and my girlfriend would go to a restaurant and they'd come up behind like us and they'd be like, "Oh, like, can I get you ladies anything else or whatever?" And like my girlfriend loves it when it happens, but I got sick of it. I'm like I gotta grow a fucking beard.
That's
I
hilarious.
don't blame you.
Yeah.
Well, we can
Nice.
agree that the condition is very important when it comes to hair products.
2-in-1.
I'm just asking because I like my hair and I like.
It's 2-in-1.
What do you think about the drying it?
I'm an air dry guy. Yep. I just naturally. It's funny because me and my girlfriend had a roommate, and or no, maybe it was, I forgot who it was, but it was somebody that we know, and they I think we like spent the night at their house or something. I woke up and she's like, "Your hair looks exactly the same as it did yesterday." I'm like, "Yep, it's a gift." My grandfather was 80 years old, full head of hair. That's
Passed it down.
Yep.
Dude, this is going to be an amazing tour. East Coast Tuff Tour sponsored by Head and Shoulders.
Hey, Head and Shoulders, give us a fucking call.
Yeah, but the
we all
problem is
Hair.
we here's the question though. We love us some Stevie Rochelle, but if that was actually the sponsor of the tour, would you get fired because of it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Love you, Stevie.
Yeah.
Please don't get mad at us.
I'll be getting
He was at
Facebook.
Rockin' Pot, and it was
Yeah.
meeting him. And look,
No, he was awesome at
because,
Rockin'
look, the nice guys on the metal side know me is because of me writing for Metal Sludge. So you see. And here's another. Oh. Question.
That question was, you said you were in a country band earlier. What other genres do you like besides rock?
I love country music. That's the music that my mom would play in the car, like 2000s country music. I'm a country music guy, believe it or not. I got all those country chops in my back pocket. But
Country music has room for long hair too.
it's true. Yep.
Yeah,
I've got one of Keith Urban's guitars actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, country music. Geez. I don't know. If it has guitar in it, I'm cool with it,
Nice.
Gosh. You know what? I love these fan questions because you got some coming up that are so fucking awesome.
Oh, boy.
Lay him on him.
Brian is-
Lay him on him.
Give me the
Okay,
tough
Brian.
Give yourself advice from
Give yourself
from
10
now.
years from now. Yeah, it's the year 20. The hell year would it be? 20. Yeah, what advice would you give yourself in
2033?
I don't know. Hopefully by then I'll have some songs written, and I guess the standard is keep your own publishing, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking too.
Yeah, write songs for other people so they can make it a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all about that publishing. It's all about that writer's credit.
And the masters. And keep the masters.
Yep. Just getting royalty checks just showing up in the mail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's right. I did write that Miley Cyrus song once.
Yep.
Oh, I did write that was used in a commercial.
Right.
Yeah, same thing. A lot of those commercial guys get they get royalties.
So, what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh man, I like tacos. Tacos are that's probably my favorite food.
Late night food. I told you.
Yeah, right. Yep. Good tacos though.
See,
good
Mexican.
Mexican
About late night food. I'm thinking about something else when it comes to late night food.
I know you're thinking about fish tacos, Angel.
Ew.
I know what you're all about, dude. You're not talking about like Happy Street tacos. You're talking about fish tacos. We're on to you, dude. Don't you so me.
Next question.
You can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
What is the worst pickup line you've ever heard? Ha, I got this. So imagine there's like there's a hot chick at the show, right? You go up to her and you go, "Hey, you like chicken?" She's like, "Yeah, sure. We'll grab a wing."
That's amazing.
Fucking awful.
That's like the kind of one I would say to my girlfriend. I like to hit her with all these goofy pickup lines. Like, we'll go out to a movie or we'll go out to a concert or we'll just go out. And I'll just be hitting her with like these just random pickup lines. Like, we're not going to go back to our house together. And I'm just I just love hitting her with these just incredibly terrible, like dad joke pickup lines where she just looks at me. She's like, "You're so fucking stupid." I'm like, "I know, but I'll stop doing it when you stop laughing."
Right. Yeah. My favorite one that I ever used was there was an older lady that came to a show once, and there was a guy, and I've used this, and she was like hitting on this younger guy, and she's like, "Oh my god, like you're so hot, blah blah," and he's like, "Well, you know what they say, every cougar needs a cub."
Nice.
I'm like, I'm stealing that.
Yep. I was out with my girl recently, and I just kind of looked at her at one point, and I was like, "Did it hurt?" She's like, what hurt? When you fell from heaven?
Oh yeah,
she just gave me just the biggest she just gave me that look like I cannot seriously believe that I let you stick that in me.
Yeah. Classic.
Yep. The dad jokier, the better.
Favorite breed of dog? I'm a Labrador Retriever guy.
I'm a Corgis guy.
Yep. I grew up.
I guess because every musician.
I grew up about like 30 minutes south of Cleveland in a small town called Columbia Station. We always said we got flannel shirts, we got Labrador Retrievers, we got Leonard Skinner. That's the tagline.
Leonard Skinner, Labradors, and grunge.
Yeah. Lumberjack shirts.
Grunge and Leonard Skinner. Wow. Up and the spectrum. Do you do any art?
I don't. I just play guitar. That's everything. Yeah.
That is your art.
When I was a kid, I used to draw a lot, but yeah, not anymore.
Drawing. Do you have any hobbies like fishing?
I love cycling. That's like my daily workout, everything. Wake up in the afternoon because I'm a musician. Wake up in the afternoon and get on the bike and I'll go for 20 miles sometimes, 30, nothing crazy. I mean, for some, it depends on who you are. Some people it's like, 20 miles, that's not too bad. Then they'll go 60 or something. But then you get other people that are like, Jesus, 20 to 30 miles is a lot, But that and I like going up to the corner bar at the end of my street and playing darts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is it like cycling, like real cycling, or do you have like an elliptical in your house or something?
Real cycling. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I live What's that?
How fast do you go?
I'm right now I'm averaging about like 15 miles an hour, But I live in a town like that's kind of west of like downtown Cleveland. It's called Lakewood, and it's a very like bike friendly town. So you can kind of ride your bike in the street and nobody's gonna get mad at you.
Mm.
So yeah, it's cool.
Nice. Are you into things like wrestling or horror movies?
Not really. I'm if I have a night off, I like exploring like local cuisine. I'm a foodie, as they call it. So
Foodie. Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, what do you like? Let's expand. What do we look for in said foodisms?
I like taking an item. Me and my girl have done this a couple times. We'll take like an item like pizza, and we'll go to every pizza place. The other guy that does this too is Todd Chason, the bass player from Tuff.
Yeah.
And he'll pick out something. You'll go to like a pizza restaurant here, and then you go down the list, and then you'll figure out that's the best. Same thing with in Lakewood, in like Cleveland, there's Mexican restaurants everywhere. Tacos, and so yeah, that's kind of like what we like doing.
Nice.
That's why I got to cycle every day.
Right. You guys should do this thing where you Google like restaurants near me or restaurants in the area,
Mm-hmm.
and you see one, but you don't read anything on it.
Ooh.
You don't know the cuisine. You don't know anything like that. It's just restaurants near us or whatever. And then you guys look and you pick one and you just go. You don't look at the menu. You don't look at nothing.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Favorite vacation spot?
I always like going to Nashville. Nashville's cool. All the down there, and yeah, I don't really get time for vacations that much, but when I do, Nashville's cool.
Nice. Not a Vegas guy?
I've never been to Vegas.
Ah.
That's on my list. But
Oh, that's rad, man, for sure. Metal Summoners, we got Dougie for a little bit longer because we wanted him to be able to enjoy the time with his family and enjoy the rest of his evening, because we definitely appreciate his time. It is last call for alcohol, guys. Any questions, comments, anything you want to say to Dougie, flood them in now. We'll get to all of them. We always do, but now's the time to do it. So make sure you pump those puppies in now for him. It's last call for alcohol, friends.
send me the tough questions.
With 2 Fs.
What's your signature dish?
I like making Cajun chicken pasta.
Ah.
That's my signature dish. Or one pot spaghetti. We call it goulash here. There's different names for it wherever you're at in the but yeah, one pot spaghetti.
Nice.
And as a musician, how do you know when the song is done? Because we know musicians, they kind of do different versions of the song. But you personally, how do you know, okay, the song is done, it's finished? How do you know when that happens?
It kind of depends. If you're writing songs, I think the song, if you get the words done, I think that's kind of, where, you can record it and, produce it to death. But I think if you have words and you have, you know, the chords to the song, I think the song is done. I think everything else is just the production of it, you know? It's how you put it on the silver platter.
Cool.
Nice.
That's what I would say.
Speaking of silver, hand it back to Jay, silver platter. Back to
Yeah.
you.
No, absolutely, brother. So, if you were designing, when we bring you back on the show to talk about your Dougie Manross signature guitar,
Yeah.
what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna have on it, and what's the design gonna be?
Got to be purple.
Got to be purple.
Got to be purple. I got the perfect guitars for Tuff, right? Like, you know, most of my guitars are purple, right? But yeah. I don't know. I've gotten away from the Floyd Rose for a long time because I was in a country band. So, you know, there's no Floyd Rose in country music. But I just got back, you know, playing, you know, Floyd Rose guitars again. And that's, you know, I think it has to have a Floyd on it.
All right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not too picky about guitars, really. As long as it plays good and, you know, it sounds good. I mean, everything else is kind of subjective.
Nice, nice. Any particular kind of design, or just like a nice glossy purple?
I like super sparkly, dark purple.
Nice.
That would be the yep, and gloss. That would
And
be
gloss?
yep.
You're not a matte guy.
Not really. I like everything to be, you know, nice and shiny and new.
Nice. I got you, Jaws. That's awesome, man, for sure. Now, when it comes to, are you a hardcore like 6-stringer, or do you like to play around with 7 and stuff?
I had a 7-string for a while, and it's I like to play around with them. I mean, I can get around on them. That's kind of like what deters a lot of people from them. But really, it's just, you know, it's like, you know, you got your E string up here, right, and then you got your string down here, and that's kind of what, you know, it just adds, you know, another string. But yeah, I've dabbled, but yeah, I'm pretty much everything that I do is 6.
Nice. Do you teach, or do you have interest in teaching?
So I do actually. I teach at a little school. It's about 30 minutes outside of Cleveland. It's called Rocktown, Lorraine. So Rocktown, Lorraine. I think the website should be, you know, the same as the school name. But we do in-house lessons, and then I also do. I'm able to do Skype lessons too. So that,
cool.
Yeah. So Zoom, but reach out to rocktownlorraine.com.
Nice.
That's where I teach at. So
very, very cool, for sure. And one of the things that we definitely always like is because Angel and I, in certain aspects, take this comment as you will, are various whores when it comes to certain things. So this is your opportunity to whore yourself out. Where can you be found? Websites, merch, all that goodies.
Find me on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I don't post a lot on YouTube anymore, but every once in a while I'll throw something up there. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram are kind of where I'm at right now. Nice. But I play every weekend in Cleveland with somebody. Right now, I currently I play for a band called Cleveland's Breakfast Club.
Nice.
Which is, they've had a long list of, you know, local guitar players. It's a kind of a prestigious, you know, gig that I just started doing. But all the guitar guys from Cleveland have been through that band. So I do that, and then yeah, I mean, just playing with Tuff this summer, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And do you, or have you participated in NAMM?
I've never. So I went to Summer NAMM one time in Nashville when I was a kid, but that was it. I've never been never been to LA, so
Okay.
yeah, I'd love to go, especially once it gets. I kind of heard, I watch all the NAMM videos every year, and I heard it was a little different than it has been in past years, but I think they're shooting for it to be back to normal this time around coming. So maybe I'll have to hit it up this year.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Angel, let's kick it back to you, man. If there's anything final that you want to add before we allow Dougie to enjoy his evening.
Yes, just a reminder of the upcoming Tuff tour dates. Friday, May 19th, local bar in Strongville, Ohio. May 20th, Cleveland, Wisconsin. You're really lucky you get Tuff. June 22nd, 23rd, and 24th are the dates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And
Don't be soft. Be tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Dougie, we can't thank you enough, man, for taking some time out of your evening to hang with us, man. The biggest thing that's always been very important to myself and Angel is how you felt about it. Like, did you have a good time? Did you feel respected? And did you feel that this was worth it? Did you like your questions?
I had a blast. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me. It's you guys asked all the right questions. So, cheers.
Oh, I love this
looks
question.
like
Would you ever skydive?
Would I ever skydive? Absolutely.
And what would it take for you to skydive?
Aeroplane.
What's that?
What would it take for you to skydive? Like, if there's any mile marker that you would hit in your career that would make you say, okay, I'm going skydiving to celebrate this.
I would do it tomorrow.
You know what? I'm going to say it right now, and I'm going to say it live. If we hit, what's a good number? 500,000 followers on YouTube? A million? Okay. Not a million? Damn. 2 million?
I'll do it at 50.
You on that one about skydiving.
I'll do it right now. I'll do it.
Dude, I'll do it at 50,000 followers on YouTube.
Right.
I'm gonna hold you to that one.
Fine. Absolutely, for sure. But thank you so much, Metal Summoners. We appreciate you guys. Make sure that you're supporting Dougie on all of his endeavors, all the various bands that he plays with in Cleveland, and make sure that you get out to support Tuff on their tours. We've all been, tired and frustrated over the last couple of years about the lack of shows. Well, 2023 and the end of 2022 was showing all these shows coming roaring back. So let's make sure that we're getting out to support these bands. If you can't get out to the shows, there's a lot of things you can do to help. CDs, T-shirts, things like that. And even that's a struggle, there's a lot of things you guys can do that are free. A like on a post, a comment, a share, and telling somebody about a band. There's a lot of things that you guys can do to support everybody. Oh, thank you so much, Jeannie. We appreciate you. We missed you. Make sure that you hit me up about your shirt. I got you covered. Oh, hey, Linda. What's up? Thank you so much for supporting as well. But yeah, Metal Summoners, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. But remember, just like this show, the support is what it's all about. So make sure that you guys are showing Todd and Billy and Dougie and Stevie all that love and all that support with all the amazing stuff that they've got going on. So on behalf of Dougie Manross, we appreciate him spending his evening with us. And on behalf of Angel Alamo, make sure you're checking him on all of his socials for both Angel Alamo on Facebook as well as on Instagram. You can find myself at Just a RNR Junkie on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as well, and support Bobby Dreyer at BobbyDreyer.com and Psycho Steve at The Real Psycho Steve on Instagram. We appreciate you guys so much. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys in a week. Guest announcement over the weekend. We got another fun one for you, and we're really looking forward to it. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. Take care of each other. Look out for each other. And again, Dougie, thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, man. Anytime.